Welcome again. It's me, Ernest Boniface Makulu, EBM. Today, I'm going to talk to you about undergraduate scholarships in the United States of America and overall, all over the world, especially if you are looking for scholarships. Because this is one of the questions, and especially it comes from the parents. Parents want to know how can they help their children to get bachelor's degree scholarships in America, Europe, and other countries. And even the students themselves, they're in high school, they want to find scholarships. So I will put directly from the beginning. It is very difficult to get scholarships for bachelor's degree or undergraduate degree either in the US or in Europe. And I have so many reasons. I didn't say it is impossible. I haven't said that. I just said it is a practically difficulty to get these kind of scholarships. And I'm going to explain why. But before we go there, remember to subscribe to my channel, EBM Scholars channel, which is youtube.com/EBM Scholars. You'll be able to get the notification. Now I'm going to explain why is it difficult to get scholarships for bachelor's degree. In my book, True Memoirs of the Scholarship Guy, I explain in detail about undergraduate scholarships for international students. And I explained various situations is how you can be able to apply and why is it difficult, things of that nature. I want to make sure that the parents don't waste their time, the kids don't get depressed and disappointed once things don't go in their way. You need to know these items so that it cannot happen to you. And you know for sure what can you do in order to prepare yourself. So let's start. Why is it difficult to get scholarships for bachelor's degree? Number one is the language of instructions. What is the medium of language teaching in those countries you are going to apply for scholarships? And remember, I'm talking more about Western Europe. I'm talking more about US and Canada. I'm not talking more about the scholarship to go to South Korea. I'm not talking scholarships going to Malaysia. I'm talking more about Western countries' scholarships. Why is it difficult? Language of instruction. In the countries where the language of instruction or the national language of the particular country is not English, those countries largely use their native language to teach bachelor degree going down to kindergarten. For instance, if you go to Norway, Norwegian language is used from primary school or grade school to bachelor's degree. If you go to Netherlands, the Dutch language is used from primary school, grade school to bachelor's degree. If you go to France, French is used from primary school to bachelor degree. They use it for master's and PhD, those languages, but when you go to master's and PhD, there are so many programs which are taught in English, but the rest, they are mostly used in their own languages. Sweden, they use Swedish. If you go to Germany, they use German language, things of that nature. So there are few countries in the world where the native language of those countries is English. You are talking about US, you are talking about half of Canada. Half of Canada speaks English, half of Canada speaks French. You are talking about UK, the entire UK. You are talking about Wales, Britain itself. You are talking those surrounding countries, Ireland. You are talking about also New Zealand, Australia, when you go to those other countries. So there are few countries which the national language, the mother tongue, whatever it is English language. So in those countries, because there are few, automatically you are limiting the number of scholarships. Because if you want to go to study in Germany, you must take the German proficiency test in order to do bachelor degree. If you want to go to study in Sweden, obviously you have to know Swedish to study bachelor degree in Swedish. If you want to go to Norway, you have to know Norwegian in order to be able to pursue studies in those countries in their own language. So basically, the language is limiting the number of countries which offer scholarships or offer studies in English language. But it is vastly different when it goes to masters and PhD. So when it goes to masters and the PhD, all these countries, Norway, Finland, Denmark, France, you go to Netherlands, you go to all these non-speaking English countries, they also use English as the medium for instruction for masters and the PhD. So you can have scholarships in native speakers of English, and you can go beyond native speakers of English. So that's why when you go to masters and the PhD, you will find so many scholarships is because of the language instruction versus on the bachelor level of degree. Reason number 2, the length of the study. Bachelor degree in many countries of Western countries is 3 to 4 years. For instance, in the US, bachelor degree, 4 years. Masters is either 1 year to 2 years. I did my masters for 1 year, but most of the places is 2 years. So let's assume the University of San Diego, let's say, is planning to support people from developing countries or to support the development of developing countries. What is better to do? Should I bring one person to do bachelor degree for 4 years, or should I bring 2 people from Africa, or one from Africa, one from Latin America, so that they can benefit 2? So within 4 years, I'll return 2, or should I bring one for bachelor to do 4 years? So in the end, when you do your math, it's better to have a bigger impact by offering masters. Or it is better to have PhD, someone will do for 3 years or 4 years, but it's PhD than just someone coming to do bachelor degree. So if we want to do 3 years program, 4 years, they will offer for PhD than just someone for someone for bachelor degree. That is reason number 2. Reason number 3, the contribution. What kind of contribution are you going to have when you are at that particular university? So for instance, someone who is coming to do bachelor degree, just straight from high school, you don't have much contribution at Stanford. You don't have much contribution when you go to UCLA. But if someone comes to do masters or PhD, will be doing assistantship, will be assisting either to be seminar leader, or will be assisting in research, will be assisting certain kind of duties in the academic arena, compared to someone who is just brand new, has to study what is communication skills, these basic things for bachelor degree in first year, second year. So they see what kind of contribution are you going to have and the impact in terms of academic you have to the department, to the community. So obviously by default, they will prefer more someone in masters and PhD, because in the end, you also use less money because the person will be working than someone who is doing for bachelor's degree. But again, you can look about what impact the person after finishing the studies if is going back to the home country. Someone with a bachelor degree and someone with a PhD, when you go back to your home country, who will have bigger impact? They look about that. So they go for PhD versus bachelor degree. Or someone with master's degree, already you come here with your bachelor, you have experience for work, you have bachelor degree over there. If you combine masters in, let's say, Norway, you go back to your country, let's say your country is, maybe Namibia, you can have a bigger impact because you have higher level of studies and higher level of analysis compared to someone with a bachelor degree. So in the end, they look about what is the impact after your studies. So by default, they are going to favor more someone who is doing masters and PhD than someone who is doing bachelor degree. So that is another reason. But this one is my personal reason. I usually tell people, especially for the parents, you have to be very careful. Many people who are finishing high school, they're just very young nowadays. Back in our time was different. You go to first grade primary school, you are age of 8, 9, 10 sometimes. So you are finishing high school, you are almost 20, 22, 23. You are finishing ready to go to first year of college. But nowadays, people going to primary school, grade school at the age of 3, age 4, 5, there are so many people. So someone is finishing high school is 17, 18, just like in Europe or in the US. But as a parent, are you going to trust your child who was brought up into a very simple, sophisticated .com life of your home, boarding school, are you going to trust that person to go to live on his own, on her own, from a small city in Kenya, from Meru in Kenya, or from a small town in Tanzania, or from somewhere in Durban, direct to live in Chicago, direct to live in LA, or to live in San Francisco on their own independently, where you can do anything you want as long as you are 18? So those are the things as a parent you needed to see. What challenges have you prepared your son or your daughter to be able to do things? This is a very complex jungle in the US. So sometimes I don't say that everyone who comes here under the age of 18 to pursue doesn't succeed. There are so many people who have succeeded, but it is very easy to be tempted and to go in the wrong direction. So as a parent, it is a different. If someone comes here with a bachelor degree, you are coming to do PhD, it is easier to be very focused. It is easier to survive because you have gone through so much in your life. You have been independent for a long time to be able to survive. That is just advice to the parents. You have to think about it. And another thing is the timing to apply for master's and bachelor degree. You're finishing your high school, maybe in May. But when you apply to go to school the other year, the year to come. Maybe this is 2019. You are applying, you have to go to the year 2020 in August. So for that case, you cannot just stop, don't do anything. You are waiting the next year to go to college in the US or another college. So you need to apply in your home country to start a study. So it is better to continue studying in your country. If scholarship happens, yes, you have to happen. But you must, even if it will be scholarship are happening, you must have a very good score. There are some of the scholarships, there are partnership between the government. I've seen scholarship for China. Chinese government is having partnership with so many countries in developing countries. You can just apply, just get it. There are so many scholarships from the World Bank or the Japan JICA, whatever, I don't remember the name. So there are all those other scholarships. So there are some partnership scholarships which are there. So you can apply, but start studying your country first. If something comes along, you can just leave and continue from there. But my advice, focus on bachelor degree in your country first, and then other things will come later. But if you are looking for scholarships, there is one scholarship. I have a separate video already. If you look at some of the videos, it's called Berea College. Berea College is a college in the United States of America, in the great state of Kentucky, in the city of Berea, Kentucky. They have this Berea College. Is the only college in the United States of America, which I know, which provides 100% scholarships to all enrolled international students in that particular university. And each year they are taking at least 30 students international to do bachelor degree. They get scholarships. So if you Google Berea College or you check out my videos, I explain more about Berea College and how you can get scholarships at Berea College. But that is one scholarship, one school. And one time when I posted my video, they came to say thank you, whatever. But also they went further to say each year they get minimum 300 to 400 applications, and they're taking 30. So it is a very competitive. So don't assume I'm just applying, I'm going to get it. No. Also, you have to take some of the exams like English proficiency test. You have to prepare yourself. Yeah. So you can put a comment here. I can send you the link about Berea if you want to apply. But again, I insist, don't waste too much time. Do bachelor degree in your home country and be able to get masters mostly and PhD in developed world, and you'll be able to succeed more than if you come for bachelor degree. So that is what I want to explain more about undergraduate scholarships in Europe, US, Australia, New Zealand, things of that nature, and even some of the other countries like China, Japan, South Korea, they have scholarships, but you have to consider all those factors and how are you going to benefit and how are you going to secure those kind of scholarships. So what you need to do, Share the video with your parents. Parents, share this video to your kids. Kids, share this video with your colleagues in the school so that they can know what to do. But remember, avoid scams. Don't get scammed by being too much obsessed about these scholarships, and you end up paying people randomly and you are going to be scammed. So that's my advice, and all the best in applications. Remember to share the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/EBM Scholars. Thank you and all the best.